Good morning. I had surgery Monday. Today is Thursday. This is the same surgery that was previously scheduled and then canceled, and it was scheduled again for the second time for February 1st. Now, I didn't know that it was actually going to go off. It was going to happen. This one addresses the ventral hernia, the little hole that I have up here, where, the whole story. I messed my knee up and tore my quad when I called a transmission that fell out of a van. And, not the smartest thing to do, but it's like a reflex reaction, right? You walk by something, it falls off of a countertop or an edge or whatever, your first instinct is to try to catch it. And I had this hernia pop through, this ventral hernia. Not unusual for a person my age at all. Now, I told you guys, I made a video some time ago, over a year ago, I don't know how far back, talking about why older bodybuilders' abdominal muscles spread apart. And I explained about this rectus abdominis, what the abdominal muscles really are, and this linea alba. I don't know if I actually referred to it as that, but I explained what was going on. And as you get old, this loses its elasticity, and so it spreads apart. And as it spreads apart, the abdominals are going to spread apart, and you're going to see that. A lot of older guys, look, it happens in almost every body. Happens in almost everybody. As you age, stuff just gets worn out, gets wear and tear. It loses its elasticity, and it spreads. And this is that middle-age spread thing. That's a real thing, man. I'll put some pictures up in here I'll post throughout this video. One of them is actually a 55-year-old guy before and after repair. And before, he doesn't look like he has a serious health issue. He just looks like he's a little fat. But truth be told, he wasn't a little fat. It's that this rectus abdominis, this linea alba, had spread, allowed everything to spread enough and was loose enough that it wasn't holding his abdominal cavity and his innards literally together like it should have. It was allowing it, it loosened up. And that's why it looked like he had that belly. And you'll see in the picture after the repair, it was gone. That's typical. Now, in my case, the only reason they did all of this, and believe me, I'm kind of regretting it, the only reason they did all of this is because the hernia here, when they did MRIs and they saw how thin this was, as this spreads, it gets thinner. That's how you get these hernias. Now, you can make it worse. You can cause it to happen faster, or you can exaggerate it by lifting heavy weights over and over again. All that abdominal pressure pushing outward against it. That's what you're pushing against. That's why you should wear a belt. If you're not wearing a belt or some kind of thing like that to shore you up, then that's what you've got holding you together. That's what your abs are pushing out against. That pressure that you're building up inside, that's what's holding it all in. That's all, is that linea alba and the abdominal muscles. This rectus abdominis. There are a lot of other things you can do. If you're an overeater all the time, and this is already aging, losing its elasticity, common sense, you're bloated, it's going to push constantly, little bit by little bit over a long period of time. It's going to help spread it apart further. It's going to loosen it up a little bit quicker. So there are all kinds of things that can play into this. The last video I posted explaining what was going on when you see these older guys and their abs spread. Of course, you get people disagree. It's some compound they're taking. It's this, it's that. Normally when I make videos and I tell you that this is what it is, that's not typically my opinion. That is what it is. That is what it is. Take it for what it is. You don't want to believe reality, don't believe it. That's what it is. And like I said, can you do things to exacerbate it? Yeah, of course you can. Sure you can. But if this didn't lose its elasticity ever and it stayed, tight as corded steel or whatever, as a steel belt, it wouldn't happen. So it's part and parcel happens no matter what you've done to exaggerate it or exacerbate it. It happens because it loses its elasticity. It loosens up. So with me, if they had just repaired this little ventral hernia here, which was getting worse, and I had been out of work all the time, and I just returned to work. So if it's getting worse just being out of work, and when I return to work, of course, it's going to get worse. So it needed to be addressed. But when they looked at me with the MRIs and stuff, they said, well, this thing has pulled apart enough and it's spread thin enough now that, you should really, what should be done is that repair should be made where they cut this thing open and they pull it together really tight, like a girdle under your skin, under your muscle, under the abs, and they pull it really tight together and stitch it back up. And then they install a sheath of mesh under the abs and put that in there so that it can share the workload, kind of like a snowshoe, how that works. Spreads out the pressure so it's not just concentrated in one small area and then you can walk over top of the snow, right? Similar type of design. And that's that. But without addressing this, they said, you're going to be more susceptible to other injuries. And if you're going to go in there and do the one, you should do the whole thing. So, but he also did tell me at the time, he said, look, this is an extremely painful procedure. And now I'll tell you one thing I have absolutely learned is when a surgeon specializes in the area of medicine which he's explaining or discussing with you, tells you this procedure is extremely painful, yeah, let that carry some significant weight and credence because this has been extremely painful. Like I said, I had the surgery Monday morning, and this is Thursday morning, and this is the first day that it's even possible for me just to sit here and make this little video like this. It's been excruciatingly painful. And because of all the drug abuse in this country, here in the USA, I guess worldwide, but here in the USA, because of all the abuse of opiates and narcotics, it's not easy to get pain relief anymore. It's not easy to get pain relief anymore, which is sad because the very thing painkillers are designed to do, the very purpose these medications are designed to have been created to serve, is now being influenced and distilled or watered down by the consideration that there's too much drug abuse in this country and in our society, and so we don't want to give people these medications, which if you just went through a painful that's known to be extremely painful, you just went through a procedure that's known to be extremely painful, surgery, I think if they have the ability to eliminate that pain, mediate that pain, they certainly should do that. But no. So that's why I've had second thoughts now. It's too late now, But it's extremely painful. It hurts like a son of a bitch. So, any of my detractors out there, any people hating on me and stuff, you can rejoice. You can rejoice in the reality that I'm one suffering bastard right now. You can rejoice in that reality. And I have other complications and other issues to go along with it, and I'm not even out of the woods yet. There are stages to this progress for healing and recovering. So we'll see how bad it is. It's pretty damn bad, much worse than I expected. So that's that. They used to, you'll see one of the pictures I'm going to put up is how they did it before they had the robotic technology, where they would have to cut you wide open. Now they put a piece of mesh sheet in from my breastbone all the way down below my navel. So hopefully I'm going to be fixed for life now at this age. That's never going to be a problem again. But you'll see in one of the pictures, before they had the robotic technology, they would have to cut you wide open, and you would have a scar all the way down. Well, this they have done underneath of the skin. It's under that first layer, that dermal layer, under that first layer of skin that you see, and it's so however they sew it up or whatever they do to it, it's so extreme that it looks like there's a huge tent zipper pushing up from under my skin through my skin when you look at it. I have a band on. It's called a binder. I have this binder on, this huge binder right now. I don't ever take it off. Once in a while I'll take it off, have a look, but this skin that they didn't have to cut through nonetheless has this huge thing protruding through it all the way down. That supposedly is going to minimize as it recedes and the swelling recedes, and it should heal up fine, and we'll see how that goes, you know? So in the end, it should be an awesome boon. And of course, we've dealt with the ventral hernia now. That's not an issue anymore. Shouldn't be. So hopefully all's going to go fine. But that's where I'm at. That's what's going on. I didn't post up about, I mean, I didn't, you know, I was going pedal to the metal, getting my swole on, get some size on. And I've had some people express concern that how safe is it at my age to do that again, and to be getting heavy like that again. How healthy is that for my heart? And it's not healthy. It's not good. But it doesn't necessarily have to be. Doesn't have to be bad. It's not good. It's not going to be good for your heart. It's not going to do your heart any good. But there are a lot of other things you can do to mediate the negative impacts. There's a lot, and I'll make videos about all that. And the only reason I'm doing this, I'm not trying to get back up to 300 pounds or 290 or even 280, you know. I'm going to get to about 270 and fairly decent conditioning. And make some videos pushing some heavy weights so I can actually document how I got big in the first place, because the way that I lift today is absolutely night and day difference from the way I actually lifted that built that initial bulk, that built that initial muscle, that mass, when I used to really be large. So it's just one last hurrah, and I'm not going to stay up there, you know, but just a confluence of circumstances, you know, it's just like, why not, you know, yeah, there's risk involved, why not? Anyway, it's just what's familiar to me. And a lot of what's familiar to me in my recent life history is gone. So, you know, there's this. Anyway, I appreciate the concern. So that's what's going on, man. I'm just trying to eke out some semblance of some kind of comfort to get me through this. I mean, it's fucked up. It's extremely painful. I'll get into it further later. I'll show you what it looks like, all that jazz. But I'm going to go for now. Just wanted to put this out there and let you know what happened. So in the meantime now, during this recovery, of course, this is a big break from the other. I'm not putting on size. I'm not lifting weights. I'm not geared up. I'm not doing any of these things. So this will be a break for however long this recovery is. I don't know how long it'll take, you know, and then we'll see what it looks like in the end once it's all tightened up. It's already visually an improvement, you know, other than the Frankenstein zipper thing sticking through, but yeah, that's what's happening. So I'll catch you guys later. Hope you're having a great day. Hope life's good. That's it for now.